Hi, I am JB Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer of JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics, a registered investment advisory firm established in 1995. Make sure that you get my book, The AfroEconomics Key. This is the key. Make sure you get it. If you're watching right now, I do not want the economic divide to stop you from getting my book. You can email me at jb@afroeconomics.com and say, I watched the old school video and I want the ebook of Our Black Wealth Matters, Afroeconomics. Indeed, you can get it. You can also, sign up for the membership of AfroEconomics. I want to make sure that as we go into this holiday season, that you know that your financial success, that your family having a legacy, the first principle of Afroeconomics is the first thing that I think about in the morning after I think about how blessed I am, and I think about my family, and I think about my sweetheart. I do think about your financial success. I do. And it is very, very, very important to me. So AfroEconomics has a free membership. It's called No Excuses. Go to the website, click right there, sign up for the full financial planning membership. Give yourself a gift for the holidays or do the free membership. We have our membership meetings every week and you're able to take advantage of those meetings. Like, this is not like one of the hundreds of things that are online that motivate you, excite you. But what we do and what I do, and I'm gonna do it until I take my last breath, God willing, I am going to motivate you to want more, to do better. Let's level up, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm a licensed advisor. This is a registered investment advisory firm. So don't get confused that this is another motivational video. It's motivating and it's a video, but I am a practitioner. I'm in the trenches. I work for you every day. I work. That's what I do. I have my own investment portfolio. I have my own portfolios that I set up for you. I do the risk analysis. I sit with you. When you become a member, you get access to a financial planning software package that is worth a great deal. It's better than anything as an individual that you would have access to. This is for us as businesses, helping people put together and organize their assets. I didn't even plan on starting with that, but that was what I just felt like I had to share today. So if you're watching this, that is the first time that I ever shared that much information in a video. And I should do it more often because sometimes I think that people just watch and they don't have the slightest idea what I actually do and how I can help you. Yes, indeed, Elizabeth. It was divinely inspired because this topic is divinely inspired. We make things too complicated. Tonight we're talking about old school financial management because there were way before all of these hot, exciting investment ideas and my Afroeconomics portfolios, way before that, our people had money and acquired money and bought things and saved money and were focused on it and left money behind. So why are we now living in a situation where we're dying broke when we're making more money than ever and we have access to more opportunities than ever? You have all of this information and book after book after book about what we're supposed to do, and we're not doing the simplest of things, which our people have done since they were given the freedom to acquire assets. I'm just like one of the first generation licensed Black financial advisors. That and still it's known that we have a fraction of the wealth of our white counterparts that are making the exact same income as you. We have more education in many situations than our white counterparts, but the wealth factor is not there. And that has a lot to do with what has become a political discussion, the reparations and the assets that were taken from us, and the ability to not acquire assets because we were kept out. We weren't able to have an investment advisor that could set up a brokerage account for us. I wasn't able to, the generations before me weren't able. I'm one of the first Black registered investment advisory firms on the planet. And I'm relatively young. So, I mean, I didn't have mentors of how should I do this? How should we set this up? That's why AfroEconomics is so important, that we have these discussions, that we make a commitment to legacy, that I have this entrepreneurship membership so that you can get the advantages of having a close discussion with a Black entrepreneur that has been in business. It will be 25 years in just a couple of months. If we keep getting advice from people who just opened up their consulting firm, we gotta start using our resources that God makes available to us. And that's why I appreciate you, Dr. A, for logging in today. That's why I appreciate you, Ms. Graham, for logging in, and Leslie for logging in, and Mike for logging in. I appreciate you, Cynthia, for logging in, because I know that something that I'm saying is motivating you to help someone else. Even, Ms. Wright, I know that you were inspired when you came out to Black Health, Black Wealth, drove all those miles. I know that you were inspired when you came to that workshop for Black men and brought your sons with you. I know that you and your husband want to have a legacy, and you know that these old school mindset is really what we're missing. That we're not appreciating how important it is to have one another, to have access to one another, to be here inspiring each other. We're taking that for granted. We really are. But when you're a member of AfroEconomics, and I'm like preaching to the choir, because the fact that you're even participating in and helping me build a Black consumer advocacy group, that will be in a position to change things. That's what we're doing. We're changing things for everybody. Every time you share this information, every time you invite another friend, you are changing their legacy and you're moving it forward. You say you can lead them, right? You can lead them to the truth, but it's up to them to follow it. So let's look at old school tips. First of all, they didn't have any school loans. No school loans. About 44 million Americans are dealing with student loan debt. We, on average, have larger school loan debts than our counterparts. That we, Black people, our community, has the largest, on average, school loan debts. We do have a large amount of education. We are making good incomes. We are at the best unemployment, we have the lowest unemployment rate for decades. We're looking good, we got jobs, but the wealth is not happening because the school loan, which is contributing to it. Now, this isn't the only problem, but the school loans, along with other debts that we're acquiring, is just destroying our wealth, because your income does not determine your wealth, your net worth. Your assets minus your liabilities really tell you what you have. Your assets minus your liabilities. So at that moment, when you go into the biggest debt of your life, you have to realize what you've just done to your personal balance sheet. And think about it, if you're buying something that goes down in value, then that asset is declining in value and the debt of it is going up. So school loan debts are charging you interest. That is not something that they did in old school. The people, the generations before us, did not go into debt to acquire their education. And we have to stop allowing our young people to do that. We have to tell them that, you know, college is not something to just be played with, that it's not some, you know, like a name brand. Like we want these big names and we let our kids go to school anywhere. It amazes me how people with average income, but you have so much, your average income, but according to the financial aid office, you're rich. So they expect you, and you have that one child, and you allow them to go out of state, and they get into a school that the tuition for the year is more than what you're being paid. We got to stop it. So then you're accumulating those loans for yourself and for your kids in many situations. So so no school loans. Let's learn that from old school. It's got to stop. And then if you have a school loan, you have to pay it. It's not negotiable. You know, whatever this person comes in, they're not going to get rid of the loans that you have. It's not going to happen. They're not going to go back and say, oh, all this is gone. You know, no. Even the programs that say that they will get rid of your school loans, most of them are making you pay them for a 10-year period, and then the loan is gone. I mean, seriously, you're really paying my loan? Because after the 10-year period, you've paid the overwhelming bulk of the loan back yourself. So a second point, only buy what you need. We buy what we want. But if we can learn from old school, they bought what they needed. So they needed a car. They needed a car. Or they needed a truck. They bought a truck. They bought a car. They didn't have to have the brand new one with the new car smell. They didn't have to, you know, buy, you know, every year the newest one that came out. They didn't have to, you know, to keep up with all of these wants that we have. How you do? You know, Ethel says, you know, that's right. But, you know, so we have to start focusing as far as a old school tip. Focus on what we need. We can get that from them. A third point is that more people should be living under one roof. I think I told y'all a story about some members that I had that was a young couple, and I was working with them, helping them, and they were doing great, and they were living with one of their parents, and they were doing fine. And then they said, we're tired of living this way. But I said, but you don't have any kids right now. This is the best way to live. And my emphasis on them saving more and trying to get things together before they started having children turned them off so much that they got out, they stopped the membership, they stopped even listening, they stopped participating because of somebody. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If somebody stops their membership because they don't have any money, I still give them full access to everything. I don't, thank God, and I thank God every day. I don't need the $30 or the $60 membership fee to pay my bills. It helps, and I thank God for it. But that is not how I make a living. The point of it is to discipline us and to encourage us to make an investment, because it's what I would do for free. So whatever you put into it to help me, because you see how much that is something that you should want to do. It's something that you have to do. You don't have to do that, because my desire to make the wealth gap disappear is what I have to do to be pleasing in God's eye. That's why I do it. So when they said that we don't want to do this anymore, you know, and we want to move out and we don't want to there, and we're mad at you, and they stopped participating. And then a year later, everything that I had spoken that could have happened, they were truly blessed, the child and everything in the home and everything, but she wasn't working. So everything had changed. So what I'm saying is, don't ever lose your advantage position. If you get into a position and somebody helps you, it's a family member, or if it's a stranger like me, or it's whatever, don't just give up and throw away your advantage position. When they are kind of trying to give you some advice and you don't exactly agree with them, then that's old school right there. You know what I'm saying? They try to tell you, they try to help you, they giving you, and you getting all mad at them. You know what I'm saying? It's just so sad, because that's the only way that we're going to reach our true levels of success, is to learn from the generations above us. So what I'm saying here on this third point is that we would do better with having more multi-generational living arrangements. It would help with us having our kids taken care of. It would help, and I think that first of all, people need to help one another. That when you're in the situation, you got to know how much you got to be thankful. The grandparents need to be thankful for the fact that their grandchildren are with them, and the children who the grandparents are helping need to be thankful that their parents are with them, because we need one another. We do. And while we make it impossible for us to be together, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, because we have moved apart from having multi-generations together, and it's cost us a lot. So we could be helping our families, but what happens is we go out there and you start renting, and you could have been staying with the family member and you're paying rent, or even if you're financing and you go out there and get another mortgage. So you got your mom and your daddy with a big mortgage. Now you got a big mortgage, so what is that all about? You could be helping and building together. So from an old school perspective, we need to look deeper into multi-generational living and thinking about how can we build and build together. And then a third point is that luxuries. They didn't think about always going away to this luxury cruise, or this Dubai, or going over to Nigeria, or Kenya, or Ghana, and all of these luxury, and people in other good looking in Ghana, they'll be like, it's not a luxury over here. But the fact that I still got to pay bills here, and I'm going over there, and that is a luxury, because I need to be paying bills. And for people who are over there, when they come over here, they will tell you that's a luxury. And even living here, they will send money back. So they have that responsibility of taking care of home and taking care of over here. And the fact that you're over here is a luxury. I saw on the news one day, there was this man who came over here to get his graduate degree. He was from an Arab country, and his child became ill, but the Arab country had paid for him to come here, and they said, you gotta pay us back. That's a luxury. He didn't want to pay it back, because he was like, no, I need to stay here and pay these medical bills. And I was like, see, that is amazing. And we're sitting here we're running a news story, but we're not thinking about the fact that he took government money. The U.S. will be like, I know what you're gonna do, because just like with a federal school loan, what do? They take your money, even if they don't get it until you get Social Security, and they'll sit there quietly. But if you live long enough, they will get that school loan money back from you. So they're over here hiding, but we have to realize that a lot of the opportunities that we're taking for granted, like going to college on a loan, is a luxury. The luxury of going to another country, the luxury of just visiting and getting all of these experiences overseas, that's new school. Old school, they were happy to stay and pay their bills right at home. And we act like there's something wrong with that. Like your child's not gonna fully develop unless they go to another country. That's nice, but that's a luxury. Do you have a credit card loan? Then why are you scared? You got a credit card bill, but you are sending your child over to another country, because you think that that's a necessary experience for them. What it is necessary is for you to not have that debt. That's what's necessary. So a fifth point is that they weren't afraid to get old school now. They weren't afraid to get dirty. They weren't afraid to do stuff themselves. They would do, if the yard needed to be cut, they cut the grass. Now we got these office jobs and we don't do anything anymore. Now I remember, because my dad grew up working on a farm and everything, but then he, got these office jobs and everything, became administration and this and that, but he still liked going out and cutting his own bushes and doing as much of his own stuff as he could. We need to get back into doing as much as we can of ourselves. He couldn't do mechanical stuff. That wasn't his thing. But it was I could tell that he was comfortable with anything that was close to or connected to the ground. planting and growing and cutting and stuff like that. He loved it, but that's where he came from. I bet at this spot. So we gotta, like, what are we teaching our children on what they can do it themselves? I know that one thing, and I thank God that I did it, and this is one of the tips that will come up when we're talking about doing it ourselves, is that I learned to cook. And I had to learn to cook in a healthy way because I've grown up from Southern cooks. So I had to, like, I started when my daughter was born, I still was stuck in the macaroni and cheese, biscuits, fried apples, and all of that. I had to, like, backtrack. And now you're not going to see me making any biscuits. You're not going to see me making any pasta. You're not going to see me. You're going to see me making a stack of greens and some meat and putting it in the oven or in the air crisp or something, healthy. But that saves me money. It saves me money and it saves my life. So a 6th point is that they expected hard times. They weren't like shocked when they couldn't, when they lost, when the field didn't come in or the plants, they didn't get as much money at the tobacco barn as they thought that they would get for the tobacco, because they expected it. They expected it. And you can tell, like, this, my history is from farmers. But, if you had a family, they had, and they were back in the day, and even if they went and they cleaned people's homes, they knew that they could not depend on that person not one day being in a bad mood. I remember this one man was telling me about his mother used to clean up houses for people, and every time the husband would come home, the wife would act crazy. And then one day the husband came home and the wife started talking to him, and she said, his mom said, "I don't know how I'm going to make it, but you ain't going to talk to me like that not one more day." And his mother walked out. And I know that lady was pitiful. She probably was running that woman down the street because she was what? She wasn't accustomed to doing it herself. She couldn't do it. She didn't know anything about cleaning her toilet. I know one thing. Her husband came home and he was like, that toilet better be clean. But that sister said, "You are not going to talk to me like that." But they expected that. And she wasn't afraid of having a hard time. She wasn't afraid of going out looking for something else because her lifestyle wasn't based on showing off. This is what I do. This is the standard that I live by. I'm going to live humbly because I'm not going to let nobody treat me any kind of way. A lot of us go out there living our pride and luxuries and stuff. So you got to go in there and bow down. You have to take it because you have allowed yourself to get overextended, and they know it, so they can treat you any kind of way. You cannot do that. Not if you want to live, because you will kill yourself, and they will kill you, because every day that you allow yourself to be disrespected, it kills you. The stress of it is killing you. And the only way to get away from that is you have to live below your means. You cannot go out there and spend everything that you make. You cannot show everything that you have. A 7th point is they did not see a credit card as a requirement, or a loan for furniture as a requirement, or a loan for buying a car as a requirement, or a loan for anything as a requirement. We have to stop seeing loans and credit as a requirement, because all it does is create this fictitious lifestyle. If they pulled everything out of your home that you're financing, what would you have left? What would you have left? Right? Do you have clothes in your closet that you put on a credit card and haven't paid that balance off? So 8th point is that they figured stuff out. They were creative. They figured out how to make things work, like these little algorithms on the computer that tells people that that's not a good idea, or that's not a good bet, or how they consider like your credit score and all of these things, and then they decide that you're not you're not a good person, and I'm going to charge you more. They figured that out. They didn't have to have a computer to tell them that that's not a good idea to loan that money to that person, because the likelihood of they paying that back, like, they figured that out because they saw they don't work. They got bad habits. They're always partying on weekends, and then they borrowing this money from you today. You know, they didn't have to have a computer and a credit report to figure that out. And we know this stuff, but we've allowed the system and the weakness of using these computers to take away our good sense. And a ninth point, they made investments in assets that they understood. They didn't go around looking up for a good get rich quick solution. There were some people that did it, but we are unfortunately spending too much of our money and time talking to people about nonsense stuff. Just make sure you only invest in things that you understand. And Lord knows, don't look over the obvious. People are not investing in their work retirement plans that have a match and putting money in stupid stuff that Lulu talked about at some meeting that you went to. Come on. So like 10th point is that they had self-control, and a person with self-control was admired. Now a person who has self-control, who doesn't spend every dime that they have, and they don't show off, they look at them as they're tight. Why they live like that? They know they can do more than that. Oh, Elizabeth, you're right. Elizabeth said, Vincent said, whoa, y'all been making comments. Thank you. Vincent said, the borrower is a slave to the lender. Your cooking led to a change in lifestyle. Yes, it did. Elizabeth said, mercy. That layaway, baby. That's right. But the layaway is better than the financing. And the layaway that my grandmother would do created the delayed gratification strength that we are lacking now. See, the layaway is saving for that goal, doing what you have to do to reach that goal and obtaining that goal. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for bringing up layaway. That's why layaway is a good thing, right? But now we're buying into that credit card because we don't want to delay. We want that right now. I got to get it right now, you know? And a lot of places don't have layaway. So you got to do it yourself. This is how much it costs, and I want this, and I'm going to put this money away. And the next thing you know, it's on sale. So then you have more than enough. Vincent said, living below your means takes humility. People rather have rims rather than pay rent. So true. So true. Leslie said, what about the susu that our mothers and aunts did every week? That's right. A lot of people don't know what a susu is, but when you can have a susu within your family where you're putting money in it each week, that can help family members reach their goals. But you have to be very careful who you set your susu up with. But I really love that concept. So you're putting in $25 each week, say out of 5 family members, you know, and then one person each week will get the lump sum, and then it will switch each week, put the money in, and then the next person will get the lump sum. And then you put the money in, and the next week a person will get the lump sum. And it can work as far as like knocking out a big debt that you may have, or using it to knock out a big debt each time that you get that, right? So Elizabeth said, I am one of them. You are, okay. I can't wait to see you on the, let me get it. Yes. There we go. It's the I am going to be at the 1 of a Million Economic Summit. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, Elizabeth, that's great. Yes, indeed. Y'all, in effect. Thank you, Leslie. Our Leslie is probably 1 of the million as well. Ms. Copman. Yep. Many families aren't ready yet. Yes, indeed. Thank you. I will see y'all at the 1 in a Million Economic Summit on October 11th. We're going to start with with the pitch for business owners. And I'm going to be able to be one of the judges for that. Now, a lot of experience in that because of our AfroEconomic Business Summit. We always do those as well. So I've got some good ideas. Y'all make sure y'all get registered. Make sure you get registered for the 1 million, you know, and it's everything is going back to the organization. You know, there is no executive director trying to take care of their salary. This is all about us, all about us. And if you come, you know, I'm taking care of the lunch. And so we're going to have a good time. Worth, amen, worth every penny, worth every penny, indeed. So, yes, and if you're a member of AfroEconomics and you want to come, talk to me so we can, you know, I'll see and I can help you with the registration. You know, so let me know what's up. So I just have a few more of the tips about that. Okay, my 10th point was that we should admire people who have self-control. We should admire them, whom that love delayed gratification. An 11th point is make sure that they were about being healthy. They weren't driving everywhere they went. They exercised regularly. They didn't like, I can't be healthy because I don't have a gym membership. They walked down the street. They took care of themselves. They kept themselves clean. They didn't eat garbage crap from the fast food place, right? They kept themselves from getting sick. Black health, black wealth, the 10th principle of AfroEconomics. And don't let technology make you poor. They didn't have the cell phone bill. They didn't have the, you know, the cable bill. They didn't have the on-demand, the Netflix. Don't let technology make you poor. And what about cash? Make sure that you keep cash in your wallet, your purse all the time. Keep cash. At minimum $100. You got to have cash. And if you want to save more money, use cash. The card makes it easier for you to overspend. Keep cash in your wallet. And a final point, and I said this before, but I brought that up in doing it yourself. But my final point is to make sure that we cook, that we buy groceries and not food, that we buy groceries, not food. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying that you buy the things that make your food. But I guess it's groceries and food, but I'm just saying, like, just buy groceries and cook your food. You will save a lot of money and you will protect yourself and your family. And you will teach your family how to take care of themselves. We're not cooking enough, so we don't have the generation understanding how we should be living, how we should be eating. But that's priceless. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. But that was my final point, to just stay healthy and then buy your groceries, cook your food, buy stuff, take care of yourself. Let's go old school. Let's stay old school. Let's make sure we live below our means. Let's avoid the luxuries. Let's avoid trying to impress somebody. Impress yourself. Impress your kids. Let them talk about you for generations of generations, that my mama, my daddy, my grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, this is what they did for us. This is their mindset. We need that. We need that conscious mindset. Conscious and conscientious, right? We can be conscious, but we got to also be conscientious. Dr. Williams said, no more mac and cheese. No more mac and cheese. Leslie says this is fantastic. You are fantastic, Leslie. Yes, indeed. But that is some old school tips. I have recorded this. I'm going to put this in the AfroEconomics YouTube page. You see up here, tackling credit and also investment questions to ask before you invest. All of those is a big YouTube library of videos. Also, I have a podcast. There's also a free app, the free podcast, the free videos. Really, y'all, there's no excuse. Please allow me to empower you. Allow me to help us destroy the wealth gap. I don't want to pull anybody down. AfroEconomics is about pulling us up. We're not pulling anybody down. Nobody has to get poor in order for us to get wealthier. Don't have to happen. We can build this thing as long as we focus and keep our head in the game, right? Keep our head. Thank you, Ms. Hargrove, indeed. Thank you. Ms. Hayes said, great reminders. That's so good. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Vincent. You're great. Yes, yes, indeed. Danielle, look at you. Said the podcast is a blessing. Oh, that's so good. Thank you. Look, I can't wait to get you on. I'm going to do a workshop. We're going to do some things for entrepreneurs more and more. Miss Graves is a business coach, and she really liked that. So she's going to be really working with the entrepreneurship part of AfroEconomics. We are going to continue to build together. Mike Ross says, great topic. Oh, as always. Oh, you're great, as always. Y'all be blessed. Great way to close it out. God bless y'all. Look, I gotta do some more of my oldies. Y'all gotta work with me. I want some more Teddy. Let's see. Oh, and it came out slow. Oh, it's like, don't hurt now. I can't do that. I don't know. This is what Teddy is all over. I just did an old school mix. If I keep playing this, social media will be like, you're playing their music. Oh, look, all this sad stuff. Oh, this is it. Ah!
How you feel, brother? You feel good? Thanks so much.
The real JB.
How you feel, man? Know your name, I want people to know you're in here. How you feel, brother?
That's good.
Yeah. You're getting down.
Woo, woo. That's right, Elizabeth.
We're gonna have a good time.
I hear you might tell me I should have played that first. Hey, Gloria. That would have been a good one to start. Oh, yeah.